top 5 scary stories that will haunt your dreams. The allure of a good scary story is undeniable. It's a primal fascination, a dance with the darkness that allows us to confront our deepest fears in a safe, controlled environment. We crave the adrenaline rush, the goosebumps that prickle our skin, the unsettling feeling that lingers long after the final word is read. But some stories are different. They burrow under your skin, latch onto your subconscious, and haunt the quiet corners of your mind. These narratives become the unwelcome guests in your dreams, twisting familiar landscapes into nightmarish scenarios. Prepare yourself as we delve into the top 5 scary stories that will haunt your dreams. These tales aren't your run-of-the-mill campfire stories. They're carefully crafted narratives designed to tap into universal anxieties, exploit primal fears, and leave you questioning the safety of your own reality. This story, often circulated online and attributed to various sources, is a masterclass in building unease. It's not about gore or jump scares. It's about the insidious creep of something profoundly wrong. The protagonist is walking home late one night when they spot a man across the street. He's abnormally tall, dressed strangely, and his most disquieting feature is his unnervingly wide, unwavering smile. He simply stands there, his smile never faltering as the protagonist nervously continues walking. Then the man begins to follow. He doesn't run, doesn't yell, just silently walks, always maintaining the same distance, always wearing that same impossible smile. The protagonist picks up their pace, their heart pounding in their chest. They try to lose him, ducking down alleyways, crossing streets, but the smiling man is always there, a silent, grinning specter. The terror lies in the ambiguity. Who is this man? What does he want? Why is he smiling? The lack of answers allows the imagination to run wild, filling the void with the most terrifying possibilities. Is he a demon, a psychopath, or something far more sinister? The story preys on the fear of the unknown, the feeling of being watched, and the unsettling possibility that something truly evil can lurk in the mundane shadows of everyday life. Why it will haunt your dreams. The smiling man is a visual nightmare. His unchanging expression, his unwavering pursuit, and the inherent wrongness of his presence will seep into your subconscious. You'll find yourself scanning the edges of your dreams, expecting to see that unsettling smile lurking in the darkness, waiting to pursue you into the abyss of your own fears. This story, often found on Creepypasta forums, stands out for its grounded and terrifying realism. It's not about supernatural entities or ancient curses. It's about the very real possibility of encountering something truly monstrous in the most ordinary of places. The story focuses on a group of teenagers driving late at night on a secluded back road. They're lost and looking for a shortcut when they come across a figure standing by the side of the road. Initially, they think it's just a homeless person, but as they get closer, they realize something is terribly wrong. The figure is tall and impossibly thin, with long, spindly limbs. Its face is obscured by shadow, but they can make out a pair of glowing red eyes. And then they see the legs. Thin, goat-like legs that end in sharp hooves. Panic sets in. They try to drive past, but the goat man steps into the road, blocking their path. It lets out a guttural, inhuman scream that shatters the silence of the night. The teenagers are trapped, paralyzed with fear. The story ends abruptly, leaving the reader to imagine the horrifying consequences of their encounter. The power of this story lies in its plausibility. Rural areas are often shrouded in darkness and isolation, making them fertile ground for the imagination to run wild. The goat man represents a primal fear of the unknown, a lurking monster just beyond the fringe of civilization, waiting to snatch unsuspecting victims. Why it will haunt your dreams. The image of the goat man, its red eyes piercing the darkness, will become etched in your mind. You'll find yourself replaying the teenager's terror, imagining yourself trapped in their situation, facing a creature that defies explanation and embodies pure, unadulterated evil. The rustling of leaves in the dark will suddenly sound like approaching hooves, and every shadow will conceal a potential monster. This chilling tale, widely circulated online, explores the terrifying potential of sleep deprivation and the limits of human endurance. It's a deeply disturbing story that questions the very nature of reality. The story centers on a group of political prisoners in the late 1940s who are subjected to an experimental sleep deprivation study. They are sealed in a soundproof chamber and exposed to a stimulant gas designed to prevent them from sleeping. Initially, everything seems to be going according to plan. The prisoners remain alert and coherent, engaging in conversations and exhibiting signs of euphoria. But as the days pass, their behavior begins to deteriorate. They become paranoid and withdrawn, whispering to each other and exhibiting signs of extreme stress. Then the screaming starts. One by one, the prisoners descend into madness, tearing at their own flesh and engaging in acts of unspeakable violence. When the researchers finally open the chamber, they are confronted with a scene of unimaginable horror. The prisoners are barely alive, their bodies mutilated and their minds completely shattered. They beg to be kept awake, claiming that sleep is a form of death. The Russian sleep experiment is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked scientific ambition and the fragility of the human psyche. It taps into our deepest fears about losing control, descending into madness, and confronting the darkness within ourselves. Why it will haunt your dreams. The Russian sleep experiment preys on our fear of losing control, both physically and mentally. You'll find yourself trapped in that soundproof chamber, feeling the prisoner's terror as sleep slips further and further away, leaving you vulnerable to the horrors lurking in the corners of your mind. The story also serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked scientific progress and the potential for human experimentation to spiral out of control. The Red Spot is a story that will make even the most ardent arachnophobes shudder with fear. The tale begins with a young girl who wakes up with a small red mark on her face. At first, she assumes it's a pimple, but as the days pass, the mark grows larger and more pronounced. Her parents take her to various doctors, but none can explain the origin of the strange growth. Eventually, the girl's face is completely consumed by the red spot. She's rushed to the hospital, where surgeons attempt to remove the growth. As they cut into her skin, they discover that the spot is not a tumor or an infection. It's a nest of hundreds of baby spiders, all thriving off of their host's blood. The red spot taps into our deep-seated fear of insects, particularly spiders, and the idea of being invaded by an unwanted parasitic organism. The story is a masterclass in body horror, forcing the reader to confront the unsettling notion that our own bodies can betray us in the most grotesque ways possible. Why it will haunt your dreams. The red spot will leave you checking your skin for any signs of unexpected growths or intrusions. You'll find yourself imagining the sensation of tiny legs skittering across your flesh, the feeling of an alien presence taking root deep within your body. The story serves as a potent reminder of the fragility of our physical selves and the terrifying potential for nature to turn against us. This story, often passed around as an urban legend, is a chilling reminder of the horrors that can lurk beneath the surface of familiar, comforting experiences. The tale begins with a group of friends who decide to try a new hot dog stand they've discovered in their city. The stand is unassuming, but there's something odd about the menu. It only offers one item, a hot dog made from 100% human flesh. Appalled, the friends decide to investigate the source of the meat. They follow the vendor to an abandoned warehouse where they discover a grotesque, nightmarish scene. The vendor is a serial killer who has been abducting and butchering people to create his gruesome delicacy. The human flesh hot dog stand taps into our primal fear of cannibalism and the transgression of natural societal norms. The story forces us to confront the horrifying reality that human monsters can exist among us, blending in seamlessly with everyday life while committing unspeakable acts of violence. Why it will haunt your dreams. The human flesh hot dog stand will leave you questioning the safety of every seemingly innocuous experience. The thought of a familiar comfort food being tainted by an unspeakable horror will burrow deep into your subconscious, resurfacing in your darkest dreams. You'll find yourself scanning the crowds, wondering which of your fellow humans might be hiding a monstrous secret. These top 5 scary stories are designed to haunt your dreams and linger in your mind long after you've finished reading. From the insidious presence of the smiling man to the transgressive horror of the human flesh hot dog stand, these tales tap into our deepest fears and anxieties, providing a chilling exploration of the darkness that resides within us all. Approach these stories with caution and be prepared to confront the nightmares that lurk in the shadows of your own imagination.